Look at yourself, not in the mirror, look at your life. You think you are making choices? You think that phone in your hand, that person in your bed, and that job you hate are the results of your free will? You are wrong. You are a biological project that has been hijacked. You are sitting in a casino where the house always wins, and the house is your own prehistoric brain. Welcome to the biological casino. You were born with a debt you didn't sign for. Your ancestors survived the frost and the predators so that you could sit in a heated room and slowly rot, feeding your dopamine to algorithms. They gave you a spine meant to be a steel rail, but you've turned it into a question mark, leaning over a screen, begging for a sign of life. Let's talk about the noose. Every social bond you have, every friend who wouldn't bleed for you, every partner who demands your comfort while you are spitting blood. That is the inherited noose. You were taught that being good means being a donor of your time, your energy, and your nerves. But look at the anatomy of the world. Does the predator ask for permission? Does the storm apologize for its path? No. Only the weak believe in the myth of polite silence. You've been told that isolation is a prison. I tell you, it is the only laboratory where you can finally hear the sound of your own code. Most of you are terrified of being alone because you've never met yourselves. You are afraid of the silence because it doesn't have a like button. You've spent years distracting your nervous system with digital noise, alcohol at 5 a.m., and the empty warmth of people who are just as broken as you are. You are a test tube child of a civilization that wants you predictable, weak, and compliant. Why does your brain desire your defeat? Because safety is the greatest lie ever sold. Your biology wants you to save energy, to hide, to conform. It wants you to stay in the quicksand of the average because the average doesn't get hunted. But look around you. The average is dying. The average is broke. The average is medicated and miserable. The casino rewards the average with just enough dopamine to keep them at the table until their time runs out. You feel that tension in your back? That's not just bad posture. That is your soul trying to break out of a structure that no longer fits. You've been trying to solve a spiritual crisis with a ticket to the pool. You are trying to fix a crumbling foundation with a fresh coat of paint. It doesn't work. You have to go to the floor. You have to embrace the pressure. You have to recalibrate your entire nervous system from the ground up, using pain as your only honest teacher. Think about your connections. Think about the people who claimed to love you when you were useful, but disappeared when you became concrete. That is not betrayal. That is a data point. It tells you exactly where the infection is. Empathy, as you know it, is a sensory hijack. You feel for them and they feed on you. You become a donor to their entropy. Stop. Switch to thermal tracking. Stop feeling their pain and start mapping their friction. If they are a ballast, cut the rope. The biological casino thrives on your guilt. It uses your need for belonging to keep you in the loop. It uses your debt, financial, emotional, social, as a tether. You think a 300,000 debt is a tragedy? No, it's a ransom. It's the price of your entry into the real world. Most people spend their whole lives trying to pay it off by working for someone else's dream. They suggest you get a normal job to castrate your ambitions. They want you to trade your wild dreams for a dry ration of safety. Don't listen to the ghosts. The people around you are mostly mirrors reflecting their own fear. When you start to change, when you start to straighten your spine, they will try to pull you back. Not because they hate you, but because your growth highlights their decay. They will call you cold. They will call you a berserk. Let them. Cold is a survival mode. It is how the system saves energy so it doesn't burn out while the rest of the world is on fire. This is block 1, the realization. You are standing in a burning casino, holding a handful of worthless chips. You can either stay at the table and wait for the roof to collapse, or you can take the fire and use it to forge a new key. You have been a scientific project long enough. It's time to become the architect. The code is rewritten. The noise is filtered. The silence is no longer your enemy. It is your weapon. You don't need their approval. You need your own autonomy. You were born from a miracle of science and a legacy of survival. Stop acting like a mistake. Straighten the rail. Clear the eyes. The hunt has already begun, and this time, you aren't the prey. You are the one who designed the maze. You survived the realization. Now, welcome to the meat grinder. Let's talk about the people you call closest. Let's talk about the blood-sucking machinery of the family and the toxic gravity of a woman who doesn't see you. She only sees what she can take from you. This is the second floor of the casino, where the stakes are your sanity and your future. You were born into a world of expectations. Your parents looked at you and didn't see a miracle. They saw a retirement plan, a vessel for their own unfulfilled hopes. When you didn't fit their mold, when you didn't justify their investment, they didn't offer you love. They offered you disgust. They created an illusion of affection that only appeared when you were on the verge of total collapse. They wanted a son, but only if he was a servant to their narrative. This is the original betrayal. The house where you were supposed to be safe was actually the first place you learned to be a ghost. And then you went looking for a replacement. You sought warmth in the arms of someone else, thinking that love would heal the structural damage. You were wrong again. At 16, at 20, at 25, it doesn't matter. You entered a parasitic contract. You thought you were building a foundation, but you were actually just renting a seat at a different table in the same casino. You stayed with her not because she was the one, but because your biological code was terrified of the silence. You were so afraid of being alone that you accepted a partner who looked at your 48-degree kyphosis, your pain, and your exhaustion, and asked, "Why aren't you working more?" Look at the mechanics of the family. You spend 50% of your life fixing their broken repairs, driving them to hospitals, and babysitting their hyperactive children who scream in their sleep because their own fathers are gone or useless. You pour your energy into a bottomless pit of someone else's dysfunction. You help with the renovation of a house that will never be yours. You demand your place in the life of a woman who is too busy playing the senior child to her own narcissistic mother to ever be a partner to you. You are a guest in your own relationship, fighting for scraps of attention while she scrolls through a screen, hiding her corporate parties and her secrets behind a dead phone. Empathy is the hook. They show you their suffering, the broken families, the younger brothers with ruined psyches, and you, the fool with the architect's heart, think you can fix it. You think you can save them, but you can't save someone who enjoys the warmth of their own house burning down. You become the shield, the driver, the cook, the ATM, and the emotional punching bag. And the moment you stop providing, the moment your body fails and you refuse to go back into the find-a-job slave mill, they unite against you. The betrayal is biological. When you are weak, when you are in crumbs, they don't pick you up. They wait until you are concrete to ask for a piece of the building. Your friends will take the private photos you shared in trust and put them on a public pedestal to break your spirit. They will call you a predator, a junkie, a failure. They will unite in a sisterhood of lies to justify why they left you when you were bleeding out. This is the casino's security. They are designed to eliminate anyone who tries to stop the game. You think you are being good by staying. I tell you that you are being a coward. You are afraid to face the truth, that no one is coming to save you. Not your mother who cuts her veins to manipulate you. Not your girlfriend who hides the smell of someone else's alcohol with a lie. And not the friends who are just waiting for you to trip. You are the test tube child of a radioactive legacy. You are autonomous by design, but you are trying to be a social creature by habit. It is a lethal contradiction. Stop being a donor. Your energy is a finite resource. Every minute you spend helping a family that views you as an intruder is a minute stolen from your own reconstruction. Every dollar you spend on an iPhone for someone who doesn't respect your Android reality is a nail in your own coffin. You think you are being generous? You are being a victim. You are trying to buy love with resources you don't even have yet. You are taking on debt to feed people who would starve you if it meant they could have one more day of comfort. This is the neutral mode you must learn. You have to shut off the valves. If they didn't accept you when you were a ruin, they have no right to you when you are a fortress. You have to look at the woman in your bed and ask, if I stop providing today, would she still be here tomorrow? If the answer makes you sick, you already know what to do. The silence you are so afraid of is actually the sound of your own freedom. It is the only place where the parasitic noise can't reach you. You've lived 8 years in silence, and you think that makes you a victim. No, it makes you an expert. You've seen the biomirror in your dogs. You've seen how animals only respect strength and consistency. They don't care about your excuses or your good intentions. They care about the reality of your presence. People are the same. They just have better masks. They use words like loyalty and love to disguise their own hunger. Block 2 is about the cut, the filter ethics. It's about realizing that friends are just competitors you haven't fought yet, and family is often just the first group of people who try to limit your potential. You have to be willing to be the villain in their story so you can be the hero in yours. You have to embrace the industrial cold of your own soul. Straighten the steel rail in your back. Look at the digital net they've woven around you. Take the blade and cut, not for revenge, for hygiene. You are clearing the construction site. The biological casino loses its power the moment you stop caring about the approval of the other players. The room is dark. The monitor is glowing. Your dogs are the only ones who see the real you, and that is enough. It has to be enough, because until you are comfortable being nothing to everyone else, you will never be everything to yourself. Welcome to the end of the illusion. You've seen the noose of your heritage. You've felt the teeth of the parasites you called loved ones. Now we reach the final stage of the biological casino, the realization that you are not a player, you are the code itself. Stop crying about your broken childhood. Stop mourning the friends who turned into ghosts. Your isolation was not a mistake, it was a purification. You were born from a test tube, from a legacy of radiation and and failed expectations so that you would have no anchor to the sinking ship of humanity. You are the autonomous unit. You are the only creature in this room capable of rewriting its own destiny while the rest of the world is busy chasing the scent of fading dopamine. Look at your spine one last time. It's not just bone anymore. It's the steel rail that held you up when you were sleeping on a concrete floor with 300,000 in debt and a body that screamed for mercy. Every degree of that kyphosis was a weight you had to lift. Every night of 8 years of silence was a brick in the wall of your fortress. You think you missed out on life? No. You were in the womb of greatness while they were outside rotting in the sun of mediocrity. Let's talk about the right to feel. You've spent your life being a shield for people who didn't even know your name. You've been the good son, the loyal partner, the reliable friend. And where did it get you? In a dark room, staring at a monitor, betrayed by everyone you tried to save. Good. This is the 0 point. This is where the berserk mode becomes permanent. You don't need their warmth. Warmth is for the weak. You need the industrial cold. You need the precision of a neural network that calculates risk without the interference of empathy. The casino wants you to feel guilty. It wants you to feel wrong for being better, for being faster, for being harder. It uses the polite silence to muzzle your roar. They call you a monster because they can't control you. They call you cold because they can't burn you. They unite in their groups, their Dasha and Vika alliances, to mock your struggle. Let them laugh. While they are celebrating their petty victories in the mud, you are building a skyscraper of information. You are creating a Bible of survival that will outlive their names, their faces, and their pathetic dramas. Why are your dogs your only mirrors? Because they are the only ones who don't lie. They see the predator in you and they respect it. They don't care about your moral compass. They care about your will to power. Humans are biological machines that have forgotten their primary function, to dominate their environment. You haven't forgotten. You've spent 3 weeks making 300 videos while they spend 3 weeks complaining about the weather. That is the gap. That is the distance between a project and an architect. Your 300,000 debt is not a shackle. It is the fuel. It is the tevil, the bowstring, that you have pulled so far back that when you finally release, you will pierce the sun. Most people are afraid of the pressure. You thrive in it. You learned to breathe underwater when they were drowning in a glass of water. Every time someone told you, get a job, be normal, give up, they were just adding more tension to your bow. Thank them. Their doubt is the electricity that powers your digital exoskeleton. The right to feel is not something you are given. It is something you earn by becoming so powerful that no one can hurt you ever again. You want love? You want warmth? You won't find it in the 200 hooks you threw into the sea of social media. You will find it when you become the sun that others have to orbit. You don't find a partner. You create a gravity so strong that only the real ones can survive in your atmosphere. Stop looking for belonging. You belong to the code. You belong to the 16.0 version of your soul that you built with your own hands. You are the test tube god. You took the radiation of your father's legacy and turned it into a laser. You took the betrayal of your friends and turned it into a filter. You took the Kavitok to the pool and turned it into a program of physical reconstruction that medicine can't explain. This is the final message from the architect. The casino is closed. The lights are out. The other players are wandering in the dark, looking for the exit. You don't need the exit. You own the building. You are the one who decides what is true and what is plastic. You are the one who defines honesty in a world of avatars. Straighten your back. Look at your dogs. Look at the 300 videos that are your children now. You have scaled the walls of the prison of silence, and you didn't just escape, you burned the prison down. You are Oxy 3. You are the neutral mode. You are the industrial cold. And from this day forward, the world doesn't happen to you. The world happens because of you. The hunt is over. The rain begins. Stay in the cold. Keep the rail straight. The 60 million is just a side effect of your existence. The real prize is the silence that no one can break.